This is Art McCafferty, the son of Wilma Ardola McCafferty, whose life we're going to relive a little bit through these photographs. My mother was born in Lawrence, Michigan, which is in the UP. Probably about when she was 6 or 7, she can recall crossing the straits. Her father was Thomas Corey, was a lumberjack. And so they cleared out the timber up there and they headed down to Mansalona, Michigan. You can see here it's Thomas Corey and Maddie Corey. My grandfather, this was his second wife. His first wife that created 4 of the children passed away. This is the total family, the Corey family. On the left is my Aunt Lucille, then my mother. Then just behind my mother is Justin, who married Mary to the right of my mother, and that was my mother's stepsister. And then in the very back is Elta, and then finally on the right-hand side, the guy in the family is Ernie. Ernie was just a great uncle. Went to World War II, brought me back a football and a bunch of medals, and he was very cool. Here's some more shots of them in the field. Again, they did a lot of hunting. They rented out lodging to hunters. Of course, they put in the crops every year. Again, another shot of Ernie. And then a shot of my mother and Elta and Justin and then Lucille. My mother graduated from Mansalona High School in 1940. And as many people did during that time, after they graduated, they headed down to Detroit. That's where all the jobs were. Of course, this was the arsenal of democracy. They were making all these war machines down in Detroit, so she went down there, and she had a friend down there, her family. I don't know this guy's name. I think his name is Steve, but I'm not for sure. But he was a friend of the family. Here's my mom, Lucille, out at Belle Isle. And here's some other shots of my mother during those days when she was kind of footloose and fancy-free. My father caught her eye. She was waitressing, and my father was throwing around nickels like they were manhole covers, but he was tipping her pretty generously, I guess. And they courted for a little while, and they got married. And they got married in Ohio. My father was coming back on leave. He was hired as a flight instructor for World War II, trained a lot of people to fly. And then basically we went back with him to Lakeland and home of the Detroit Tigers now, also Avon Park, where we stayed until he was released in November of 1944. Here you can see my father, the marriage, and he had his brothers were there as part of the ceremony. And this was the family my mother married into, which is on the left-hand side, a little bit faint, is Rowena. There's Harold. Harold also was in WW2. He was in the tank and saw some action in Germany. There's Lottie. Lottie was the matriarch. She was the kind of she had a family farm in New Brunswick. She sold that, moved to Detroit again because of there were jobs there. Started buying houses and converting them into apartments because there was such a demand for apartments in Detroit, any type of housing. There's my father on the right-hand side, my Aunt Muriel, and Uncle Paul. Here is on the left-hand side is my mother and my grandfather, Arthur Clarence. That was named after him. And then against Lottie and Muriel. That's one of my favorite shots. This is my mom. She kind of took me over. She said that was one of the big selling points with my dad was myself. And she's a great mom. We lived in again,